Kodash, 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 Adonai, Elohim, Sabaoth, meaning holy, 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 Lord of hosts. That is the prayer that the angels sing day and night. It could also be said as a mantra, using your throat chakra through sound vibrational frequencies, as well as Yah, He, Va, He. Those 4 syllables can be said as a mantra using sound, frequencies, and vibrations from your throat chakra. There is life and death in the power of the tongue. The first Yah signifying the Father who art in heaven, Abba, the architect of the universe, which is the divine masculine. He being a divine feminine, which signifies Mother Nature, the womb of the earth in which mankind was created and impregnated, formed and molded from the ground, the dirt. Va signifying a divine masculine, again, which is mankind itself, because in the beginning, the book of Genesis, Elohim, being plural, more than one, said, let us create them in our image. Key words in that passage, Elohim, plural, more than one, said, let us, the us, in our image. You know, that's Va, divine masculine, and which signifies mankind. Back to He, which is another divine feminine, which signifies mother wisdom. Under the Hebrew Sephiroths and Tree of Life, it is said as Ana Chokmah, which means mother wisdom. And under the Sephiroths, Chokmah is wisdom. As above, so below. The macro prosophis above and the micro prosophis below, because we are the microorganisms in the host of Elohim. I just wanted to finish this last little majority, third part of the story of the fall of men out of this book, the Sacred Secrets to Esoteric Christianity. And this last part was very key because a lot of this is in the Kabbalion, the Kabbalah. The Kabbalion and the Kabbalah are 2 different things. I know they sound the same, but they are 2 different books of esoteric knowledge. One comes from the Egyptian form, and one comes from the actual, Judaism, Jewish, which really is Yahudi, which is the real name for Jews. Jewish means kind of, sort of, which are the converts of the 7th century in 700 and I believe 40 AD after death, when the Khazarians and the Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jews, these are basically sects of people that basically chose Judaism as an identity, because this was around the time of the Crusades, when the Mohammedans and the Christians were fighting for what was going to be the dominant religion at that time. And what we know today as Islam or Muslims, back then they were called the Mohammedans because they were followers of Muhammad. Just like Christians means to be Christ-like, followers of Christ. There was a crusade, and what was going to be the world dominant religion when it became Christianity. But the people in Khazaria under King Bulan, they said they didn't want to be either or. So that's when, the Germanic, this is why they call them Germanic Jews, and because these people were all from this area in Germany, Poland, and Khazaria, which would be modern day Ukraine, Russia area, they converted, so different separate societies of Judaism. That's why you have Sephardic, that means the separated Jews, Khazarians, because they came from the area of Khazaria and Russia, and, Ashkenazi. Ashkenazi are actually Gentiles, which come from, in the book of Genesis, come from the sons of Gomer, which come from the bloodline of Japheth. Ashkenazi was one of the sons of that bloodline, and the people of that region, they, which are the people that are in the land, the Israeli land, because even that landmass that they have right now, and that wasn't even the whole, you know, real Yahudi area, you know, which is, they call the Middle East now, but which is Northeast Africa / Ethiopia, which you call Ethiopia. Ethiopia comes from the word Ethiopia, children of Shemash, Shemash, the name for the son in the greater and lesser keys of Solomon. So, you know, but this is what this is talking about. It's talking about bloodlines and lineages on this last page. You know, I know some of you people are aware of the concept of Draconian. You know, these are beings from the Draco constellations, which are known as reptilians, shapeshifters. These are reptilian humanoid beings that can use telepathy, and they can basically create an illusion and alter reality for how you perceive things to be. I don't know how else to explain this, you know, but this is where the concept of the snake in the Garden of Eden came from, and the serpent bloodline. And just a few days ago, there was a woman on a plane, and she was talking about an entity that she was sitting next to and talking to, that she said it was not real. She said, that MFer back there is not real. I am not crazy. I am getting off of this plane. This video is circulating around the internet. You know, this is all weeks after the fact that mysteriously in Las Vegas, they spotted a craft falling out the sky, and they took this video, and these people spotted a humanoid creature that looked just like a reptilian, you know. And being that this is the apocalypse, the great revealing, and also the age of Aquarius, which is the age of information, being that we are in this solar influx, this is solar judgment that is happening right now. So the more the sun moves and produces this coronal mass ejection that is hitting Earth, it is changing the magnetic sphere field of energy and the grid system in which that these people are in power and controlling at this time. You know, that's the only way to say it out clear. You know, remember it talked about in the Bible that the Most High was going to sweep the wicked on the land. In the Holy Tablets with Dr. Malachi York, he talked about this period when they will be sweeping these entities off the land, you know. A lot of people think these are outer space beings, but, you know, if you go on Big Judah's channel, he talks about these inner earth beings. So they live in deep inside the caverns and caves of the earth, which sometimes they come to the surface. They also are in the water, you know. Some people spot them as mermaids. The government, they call them some type of water crab. You know how they got UFO, unidentified flying object. I think they call it UPA something. I don't know. They got all these different names and terminology. My point is that we are not here alone. There are other entities on this planet of intelligent origin that been here, you know. It's not like this fake invasion where people would think to come. It's not really an invasion. It's just a veil being lifted. So things that you wasn't going to be able to see before, you're going to be able to see now in this time. Just like the Las Vegas incident, that plane incident, and there's many other incidences that people have been, you know, written off because, or demonized as crazy. You know, this is when sorcery goes into effect, and when you start talking like this, and they put you in these mental hospitals and they start drugging you, which sorcery is. Sorcery comes from the Greek word pharmakia. Pharmakia is where you get pharmacy from. Pharmacy is where you get drugging from. So enchantment and sourcing, enhancing or altering one's perspective. They alter these people's perspective and throw them in these crazy houses or hospitals. You know, crazy just means abnormal. It means something that is not normal to the norm, you know. That doesn't mean that it is false or isn't true. It's just abnormal to the society that they set up for you to perceive things to be. You were trained to believe like, oh, when somebody talks like this or says this, we outcast them. This shows who's worshiping the creature more than the creator, because anything the creature says, which could be your government or, you know, any people that's in authoritative power at that time. As a